Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight I am with the beautiful Taren Carolus. Taren, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, and yourself?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Taren, you are our very own Nelson Mandela Bay artist. And the first thing I'd like to ask you is, how did we get to where we are? For example, what were the circumstances when you found your love for music?
So basically, music was very much a part of my early life as a child. I started off with dancing in my family, where I started off as a dancer. Before I knew it, I went to recording as an artist, where I initially started off with rapping. So listening to all that music while growing up as a child, it kind of grows onto as a kid. I mean, if you expose a kid to anything nowadays, that's what a kid basically adapts to.
Yeah.
And I think that is what basically happened to me. And that's how I got for the love of music.
Now, Taren, the other thing I want to know, because Taren Carolus is your actual name.
Yes.
Now, I would like to know, do you have a stage name, like an alias, like almost every other artist out there?
I give it up. Okay, well, I originally started out as YTC, which stands for Young TC, and that's how people know me as my rapper name. Well, because I am doing both, which is rapping and singing, I decided to actually stick with my name, Taren Carolus. So, yeah, that's what it stands for.
So I'm right in assuming that you dropped YTC on the basis that you matured. Now, I'm curious, how old were you when you found music?
Okay, that's an interesting question. Actually, it started off from like 5, 6.
Wow.
Yes, 5, 6 years of age. And as a recording artist, it started for me when I was about 14 years of age.
As a recording artist, 14 years of age.
14.
So you're something like a protege.
Something like that, I guess, yeah.
If I were to ask you to give me one word to describe Taren Carolus as an artist, what would you say? What word would you give me?
I will have to say energetic, fun, vibrant. Okay, you said one word, so let's go with spectacular.
Spectacular. Spectacular.
Yeah.
Why spectacular?
I'm the total package. If you are going to, which I'm hoping to, come see me perform on stage, you'll see that there's so much more to me as an artist. I'm not just trying to do something that an everyday artist can do. I always try to do something new to the table. I do believing that you are only as good as your last performance. So that kind of keeps me going to always up my game and put the best version of me out there.
Do you also get butterflies like everybody else just before you get onto that stage and you do your thing?
I would be lying if I said I don't get nervous, because I always do get nervous. Mostly, when you're not really sure who's in your audience, first and foremost. When you're having people attending your event, you're not really sure what to expect. And I think it's just those first few seconds when you hit the stage and you're like, wow, I didn't expect this turn up. You knew there's going to be a show and you performing, but you're not really sure about your turn up. So that's always a very warm feeling to accept in that moment, you know. So I do get nervous, and one way for me to get over my nerves is just to have fun. Just let go, let the music take control, and you just do your thing.
You know, that strikes me as the crowning characteristic of Taren. Fun. You strike me as like a young, sweet 16.
Okay, I didn't expect that, but I do get it a lot.
Now, Taren, let's talk about your upcoming single, This Is My Moment. To me, it sounds like it has a lot of deep meaning to it. Could you please tell us a little bit about that and why you titled it that, first of all?
Everybody has ups and downs in life, and we all have moments where we think like, yo, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? And even though through all of that, I still persevered. I still pursued my love for music. I still did what I had to, even though despite what people might say about me or what might happen. And this is how I came down to, this is my moment. So that's what the track is all about.
Now, I am definitely sure with This Is My Moment, you were feeling a certain way, you were thinking certain things, and I'm curious, what were those things?
Funny enough, with This Is My Moment, I literally had 1 hour to write the song. And it was not even the plan. I was stressed. I was literally stressed because I had 2 weeks in advance, I had a beat to work on, 2 weeks. And then someone rocks up and they like, few hours, actually 2 hours before I actually had to hit studio to record This Is My Moment, it was told to me the beat has been changed and you need to write a song. And I'm thinking, well, I most definitely cannot go with my original plan. This is a new beat, so therefore I'm going to need a new plan. And the only thing that just really, I was feeling so pressurized, and the only thing I could think of in that moment was think about everything that has ever happened to you and that has led you to this moment where you are right now. And that's how the wording of my song, This Is My Moment, came along. And I just thought, you know what, this is it. This is the best I can do in 1 hour. So let's do it. So that's basically, and that's how the spacing of me to becoming to write the song came about.
All right. I want to know from you, when are we planning to hear this? When are you dropping this single?
I'll be dropping the single on the 14th of September, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so basically it will be out on the 14th of September.
How do I find you, okay? I mean, I got Instagram, I got Facebook, I got Twitter. How do I find you and stalk you?
Okay, let's start with the famous ones. Okay, on Facebook you can find me on my fan page as Taren Carolus, YTC in capital letters. You can also find me on Instagram, 13youngtc. The other one would be Taren/Carolus. And Twitter would be @TarenCarolus. That's about it.
Thank you so very much. Well, prepare to get stalked. That's all I'm saying. Prepare to get stalked. Now, Taren, thank you for coming out tonight. It's really, really, really been a pleasure to speak to you. Now we need you to encourage us, because as artists, we face a block sometimes. How are you breaking through those barriers? How are you penetrating this industry? What is it that you're doing that probably other artists are not doing well?
What I can tell you is that, first of all, I was not coming into this industry as an artist trying to be competitive or trying to be the best or trying to be the next thing out there. I honestly did this because I had a passion for it. And I know that in the world that we live in today, you can't just have a passion for something, you know? There needs to be something that actually puts you out there against the others, you know what I mean? That makes you stand out as an artist. And I just firmly believe that if you're doing something with your heart, and if your heart is inside of your work, then people will see that. People will support that. People will listen to that. And that is just what I go with, you know. I choose to follow my heart. And yes, obviously, I am, how can I say, perfecting my art as an art. Because obviously, what I put out there, people is going to be investing in this. What I actually want to let people know that it doesn't matter what you do. I just firmly believe if you have your heart and soul into what you are doing, anything is possible.
I am inspired. I really am. There we go. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Thank you.
I have a good feeling about you. Ladies and gentlemen, Taren Carolus, and good night, and good night.
This is my moment, this is my moment. This is my moment, this is my moment.